Alright, here we are. Angela, everyone's favorite waifu, our scantily clad heroine, and I'm sure most everyone's favorite character. But is she good? Obviously, you're gonna choose her because she's Angela, but what does she have in store for you? Well, let's check it out. First things first, this is the magician. Uh, Angela will have the highest intellect in the game. She's quite smart. Um, Intellect is magic attack and magic damage, and she will be, you guessed it, the spell slinger of the group, any group. She is quite selfish as a character. She doesn't offer a lot of support for the party, so she is a very high maintenance gal, and she requires support, and just she works best with a full team, um, just making her the best that she can be. So let's check out what she got here. So unfortunately, this is class 1 and you don't have any goodies. These will fill out throughout the course of the game. um, if you were playing any of the other characters and you were wondering what are all these boxes for, well, these are for Angela. I wonder what goes here. Alrighty, so standard deal. You're going to start with a class strike. This is your tier 1 class strike. This costs 100% of your CS gauge, which will be 1 bar, 1 meter. You'll start out with 2, as you can see here, 200%. This is your standard tier 1 class strike. This is your hook off the jab type move. This is your 1-2 KO. You know, it's about as good as any of the other ones. Obviously, not as good as Reese or Kevin, but this is the exact same as Duran or Charlotte. Alright, so let's, I don't know, let's go over the moveset, I suppose. So we start off with the 1-2-3, and while we're on the topic of a moveset, Angela, she has a very difficult time in the first, probably, I don't know, first third, I would say, maybe half. Uh, as soon as you get Angela, you know, you could tell just by looking at her she's going to be a spellcaster, but the issue is you ain't got any spells to cast. So Angela is primarily going to be a fighter in her first class, and she will be hitting things with her stick. So let's check out these moves here. 1-2-3 combo, standard for every character. Let's do the air. 1-2, 1-2. You can do that in the air if you want. There is her air charge. You can do that. Alright, this will be her power attack. One of those. It's quite good. It feels very spammy. You can just, you know, it just feels. This is the charge version, charge attack, and slap. There we are. Let's go to her second power attack. Would be this right here. Let's get the right angle for all you folks at home. There we are. It's the angle that you want. There we are. There's the other angle that you want. Alright, that's out of the way. Let's take a look at her second power attack. 1, 2, and big swing. 1, 2. There we are. The golf swing. So that's about it. You can do the power attack in the air. After the 2 combos, your air combo will not change throughout the game. So the deal with Angela is when you get her, she's not going to start with any magic attacks. She's going to be a warrior, running around, slapping things. So get used to these combos. You will be using them, or you may just want to switch to another character and use them to beat up everything for you. Angela is a character that you know, you she's an investment. She's going to be absolutely crazy end game, post game, tons of damage, she just gets really crazy end game. But for now, not really. So let's take a look at the stats here. Strength, this may sound attractive because she's a warrior at this part of the game, but do not waste any points here. You're not going to have 315 when you start out, so every point's going to matter. It's going to be, really important where you put your points in. You're not even going to be able to respec your points until quite a ways into the first part of the game, so you're really going to need to be smart. The only good skill here would be reclaim. However, if you don't have any magic spells, you aren't using any MP, and you don't need to gain any back. Alright, stamina. So if you've been paying attention to any of the other videos, you would know that you don't go into stamina. It's not worth the point investment, and you're not really going to be using any of the abilities because they're defensive. And the best way to play the game is to just overwhelm your enemies with your supreme power. So you only go into stamina if you need to learn abilities, such as with Kevin, pressure point, and you guessed it, Angela for her spells. Now, again, you will see these spells when you start the game. You'll get a spell in stamina, you will get a spell in spirit, and in luck. You can learn these, but you will not be able to use them until you progress through the story. They are unlocked with the story. You don't get the keys yet. You don't got the keys to the card just yet. So stamina, we'll talk about that in a bit. Intelligence, this is going to be useful for her throughout the game. As you know, intellect directly translates to magic attack. So magic attack is what increases the attack of magic. So intellect, magic attack, magic damage. You're going to want as much of this as you possibly can. However, you don't want to put any points into this just yet. This brings us to spirit. This is where your first 2 points are going. On Angela, this is where you get your first spell. This is the first spell you're going to get in the game, and it's pretty early in the game. This spell will last you till your second class change. This is going to be the workhorse spell. This is the MVP of the tier 1 class magician. So always going to want to put 2 points in it here, and you get 5 extra MP on top of it. Very nice. Let's go into luck real quick, and then we'll go back. So luck is generally good for every character. It's generally a second tree that they go into. Primarily for, let's say, Duran, for example, you'd go into strength, and then you'd put everything else into luck. Angela is very different in that regard, because she is very, the point spread is just, it's really bad for her. They're going to be everywhere. You can't just go into one tree, set it and forget it type of deal. So luck is, I wouldn't go into luck just yet. Of course, there is a spell in luck, but it requires 6 points of investment, and trying to keep the spoilers to a minimum. Cyclone will be the final spell that you unlock of the 3 that you get. So I would avoid this. Enigma can be good, but again, in the early parts of the game, Angela is going to be a warrior. She's going to be running up to things and just slapping them around, showing them who's boss. The sassy caster that she is. So this really isn't, and again, this is not a passive, this is an active skill. Most skills in the game are, they're all actives. You don't think passive stats, so excuse me on that. But you're going to have to equip this. You're only going to have 2 slots, and it's I would suggest, again, going first 2 points into spirit, you'll get your spell. You're going to be using this throughout the game. Now from here, you have either 2 choices. So path 1 would be get the spell always, and then you go into intellect, full into intellect. This will increase the damage of this spell here, and you'll get a little ability here, an extra 5%. So who knows? But the increases in stats when you're just starting the game, if you're on new game, first run, these are going to be really big. You're going to see the difference in the numbers that you're going to be putting out. The other option is to put 4 points into stamina and get earth magic. This will give you 2 magic attacks. There are a couple enemies that absorb holy bolt, so when that happens, it's nice to be able to throw some diamond shards at them. So you could either do this, you do 2, 4, and then the rest into intelligence, or if you want, you could just go all into intelligence, these 2, and then do your 4 like that. You just want 2 spells to be all alternating with. So, alright, no, let's not do that, let's do this. So, one of the ways, and if you've noticed here, you only get a spell here, so that's 1, spirit 2, and luck 3. This is earth and wind and holy. So we are missing a couple spells here. As you know, there are the 4 basic elemental spells of fire, water / ice, earth, and wind / thunder. We only got 3 of those. So one of the ways that Angela can be useful in the early parts of the game is through magical items. Now these will drop randomly from enemies. Try to keep an eye out for for the spell coverage that you do not have. So for here it would be dark, flame, and ice coins. Fire, ice, dark damage, obviously. But you can also put coins on your bar, and these are the exact same as the spells that you get, only that these are the upgraded versions. So the AoE, you'll have more area effect on these, but for the most part they are the same. They will do the same amount of damage. The only difference is bigger AoE. So let's just do this and let's go down here and get into a fight with our friends. One of them is weak to holy magic, and this is the core gameplay of Angela. Is really you need to match the proper elements to get the most out of her. She's not going to have any non-elemental magic spells for quite a while. So you're really going to need to be paying attention. And depending on the enemies that you're facing, they may all be resistant or absorb it all, and your day is completely ruined. However, if you have enemies that are weak against it, you're going to be throwing out more damage, and you're going to be like, wow, Angela's pretty awesome. But it's a the stars have to align for that. So let's slot our spells. Let's slot our coins. There we are. So again, you can only use 9 items in battle. Even if you have 99 outside, you can only use 9 in battle. Same thing with coins. So let's cast Mr. Shadow Zed here will be weak against Holy. So look at that. We're at 411. Pretty good. Look at that. Just slapped him around. Slap him around again. Okay. And he's going to transform. And that's not good. Alright, so let's see what the damage is on the light blue ones here. So about 281. And as you notice that I'm casting the spell and they're quite close together, nothing's happening. All right, so let's take a look at the coin magic. Look at that, all three of them. So the coins do have an upgraded AOE on them. However, items, be it tools, such as Hawk's case, hand axes, pumpkins, these do have a bit of a wind up cast time, as you can see here. So let's do a spell. Boom. Let's do a magic. And there it comes. So it's, those are the trade-offs, but this is one way for her to have a bit more elemental coverage. So there's fire. So this is what you're going to want to be looking for early game. You're going to be looking for coins and to try to flesh out your elemental coverage. You're going to need to be paying close attention to elemental resistances, and it's just really tough for Angela. It really is. She doesn't really get good till end game when you have lots of levels, lots of points. But it's worth it. So I think I'll just cut it here. Try not to ramble on too much, but there's a lot of stuff I want to say. So all right, well, I'll see you guys again. Take care now.